Okay, so here's the difference between SEO and ads. Test. What are these?
Those are the ads for the companies that have been properly vetted through the Google and like they're added onto the maps, right?
Yeah, they are, but what are they referred to as?
I'll be honest, I don't remember.
They're called local services ads.
Right, local services ads.
Yeah. What is the pricing model that Google charges with? Like cost per what?
Cost per leads.
Yes. Yep. Qualified lead.
Yeah, qualified lead.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what's this?
The top. I mean, they're sponsored ads. Wow, I am drawing a blank.
They're regular Google search ads, like the traditional ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are these? They have a few different names.
Yeah, I remember this one. It's I know it. I know it's on the tip of my tongue. I know this. It's they're the ads that Google got. I mean that you send them like the client's information. You know, you send it to Google, and then it'll be added onto the maps whenever people search. You know, for what they need within like the radius where they're at.
Yeah, that's part of the ranking. So these are most commonly referred to as the Google Maps listings or Google Business Profile. So this, you can advertise these, but you can also use SEO to rank your, see, there's 1, 2, 3. There's a ranking system. Do you know what SEO stands for, by the way?
Search engine optimization.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Finally, I got something right.
Yeah. Ad, SEO, SEO. You work on SEO to get presence here, and you work on SEO to get presence here. The more you optimize your search engine for search engines, the more you do that, the higher up you'll rank. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the better optimized, the better ranking you get.
Right. You're not wrong too. Location is a factor. But for this, it's kind of clear cut why this guy's ranking over this guy. 192 reviews, 86 reviews. They're both pretty close. And this one, I don't even know why they're showing up. Only 19 reviews and they're not on the map. I don't know. They might have worked, but sometimes it'll say here, they mention kitchen remodeling on their website. So if the website's doing something good, it can actually it can boost this profile. You don't need a website for this. So this is free for clients. This is really an amazing value. If they just get their clients who are happy, make sure they're happy first, and then ask for a 5-star review. This is free business. And I think this generates more business than these, honestly, probably because they rank higher. You can see the review. You get the phone number right there. You don't have to go through all the website and everything. Yeah. So yeah, I used to have one of these on the Cape. I'd get really great calls from it. I still have a client to this day from our profile. Anyways, these are the non-map search engines. These are just the organic listings. Mm-hmm. This one is Yelp. It's kind of like sometimes these lists can show up, but sometimes you get individual companies who have worked, like they've clearly worked very hard. This typically isn't best practices to put this in Google, but hey, it doesn't hurt, I guess, if they're already ranking that high. Similar to an ad, you can go into the website and there's plugins where you can create your meta title. These are meta titles, and this is the meta description. So it's just like headline and description in the ad. Same thing, but you just edit it. See how these things are bolded? Kitchen, remodelers, kitchen. Yeah. So you want to include the keyword that you're trying to rank for, and see this one is all about kitchens. They're called Kitchen Central. They probably do different services, but they have a dedicated page. Can you see this still? Oh no, you can't. Let me reshare my screen. So this one just has a kitchen remodel, Austin, Texas. They put the keyword in the URL to see they have different services. They want to rank for all of them. So whoever did the site was more focused on SEO than design, but I mean, actually some of these are good. Like I like these effects, but so yeah, this was not only just telling the service, but it was made to rank. So usually the first tag is an H1 tag. It's like the largest kind of size you can have. This is where I'm probably going to misspeak because this isn't my specialty to get hands-on with the code of it. What you do on the website part is you have headlines that have the keywords in it, and you don't keyword stuff. Like you don't make it unnatural. The algorithms are catching on to that. They're kind of keyword stuffing, but they're not doing it too They must not be doing it too much. Another thing they do is links to other parts of their pages. The reason Google gives you rank for this is because it makes it easier for their bots to navigate. Yeah, sometimes you get outbound links too. That helps. And they're doing outbound links to their other profiles. So this is just a link to the same page. Or they have 2 pages. Interesting. Bathroom remodeling, Austin. Bathroom remodel, Austin, Texas. See, that's actually not the best practices because you're confusing Google on, well, actually, they are the same. Okay. But in the bottom left, it says bathroom remodeling, Austin, and bathroom remodel, Austin, Texas. But when I clicked on both, they're the same here. So that's called a 302 redirect. So whatever their page was before, they probably hired this guy. He made a new page. He probably put the Texas in it for the sake of the keyword signal, and then just redirected to this new page. And what that does is corrects things on Google, because if you just completely delete the old page, Google is going to keep sending traffic there, but it's going to go to a dead 404 page. So that'll penalize you really fast. The home base for this is the home base for Google. And you can see which keywords you're showing up for. So like our blogs are showing up kind of. You can see like rank, queries, clicks, impression. It should show rank. I'll have to pull up another client that actually has, here we go. She makes $1,000 a month, maybe 2K in sales. Queries. I want ranking. Oh, average position. So this is all the pages together. How high up are they ranked? So 32 means 3rd page, but average. You really want to get this in top 10 because that's the first page. Many people don't go beyond the first page.
Yeah.
Google used to have it where you could just endlessly scroll, but then they actually went back to this first page, second page thing. Oh, by the way, the ads, see there's 1, 2, 3 at the bottom. So you could show on the first page, but actually be on the bottom and miss a lot of stuff if you're not bidding as high as the top guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, having readable content, having a good web design, putting keywords in the titles to make it clear for Google. There's some other technical things like you put code in and you're mapping things out for Google to make this very easy for you. And also here we build something called a sitemap. So this sitemap is basically all the pages for the website. And with Search Console, like I can enter sitemap here, click submit. It will go to that page. And then this is us submitting our website to Google. So if you're ever wondered how websites get on Google, this is how. I mean, this is like an application to do it. If your site's big enough, it'll eventually kind of pick up on it anyways. But if you want to expedite it, you can submit the sitemap like this. So we have several sitemaps for like different pages here. But I'll just show you what one of these looks like. It's just very ugly, but this is just bare bones because it's quick to load this and it's very clear for Google to find all the pages. So these are everything we want to show up on Google for the client. So that's the on-site part of the website. When we do a new client and we say we want to do SEO, first of all, let's talk about the situation. So we're doing ads. We have the CRM. They have a consistent pipeline of sales coming in, and some of that excess revenue that they're getting from the ads, they can reinvest into SEO, and they can also trust us a little more. Ideally, you want to start all the services at once because SEO can take 3 to 6 months to see some tangible results. And then to really meet your goals can take years depending on the industry, or it can, for some industries, it could take like a couple months. It just depends like on the amount of competition. The more competition, the more work you're going to have to do because they're obviously competing with each other for longer. So yeah, and we also do this. We just tend to do this second after ads because we build trust with immediate results from ads. Unless someone knows about SEO and the expectations beforehand, it's really hard to keep someone patient for 6 months. So if we were to do this up front, I mean, any SEO contract now, we're probably doing at least 6 months. Because we've done a lot of work and then they just quit after a month. It's ridiculous. So we're not going to have that happen again.
So then, quick question. When would you start the SEO process after you've, finished creating the ads for a client?
Like if they're really happy on the reporting calls, usually, like if I have some great results and they're happy and we're doing everything right, I would just say, hey, I mean, are you interested in, getting your organic listings rank too, because that can bring in a lot of traffic, and it's actually permanent, and it complements ads. They'll both bring you more sales. It's going to be a little bit longer term, but these ads can hold you over, and we do a good job. So that's kind of basically what I bring up to them when I feel the time is right, and if the situation is right. If I know they have the budget to get ranked decently in their market, even if we can't rank in the top pages, some clients, they're not on the top page for the really good keywords, but we've increased their traffic double in a year. It can still really have good benefits, even if that 1 or 2 or 10 keywords aren't the top page. Like, you're still getting benefit from it. But anyways, I think that should answer the question. But so when we start working with a client, we do first month, we do all the stuff on the website that I kind of just went over. We get the Google business profile, the maps listing. We get that optimized. We do up to 10 hours of work on there, just like listing their services, making sure that they're verified, all those things. Then that's like 1 to 2 months worth of work. And for the second month, we start writing articles that rank. Oh, and I forgot one big part of this too is website speed and mobile friendliness are a huge part of the rank. When you were seeing those letter grades on the websites, like the before and after, D to A. So that judges page load speed and structure for SEO, like best practices. So we got pretty much near perfect marks on that for all of our clients. So those are prerequisites. So once you have that, like, you have a foundation to start getting more traffic and making more pages. The blogs, now they're super fast. They're optimized for all sorts of different keywords. It can be things at different parts of the funnel. So like if you're a kitchen remodeler, maybe you'll make a blog about 2024 kitchen remodeling trends or kitchen remodeling ideas for your new project, and you might make it local, including like a keyword. So you're going to bring a lot of national traffic. And I used to think that was bad at first, especially if you're local, but you need to generate traffic that you don't really want in order to get the traffic that you do really want. So our team does about 60% of articles are getting traffic that's not necessarily going to make money immediately and convert, but we see with our tools, we see there's opportunities to rank easy and to get a lot of traffic. And it's just a balancing act between those relevant keywords. And we will get some local traffic from these. If it doesn't mention anything like Austin, Texas in it, if we're in Austin, then it's not a local blog. Some of the blogs are local, maybe 40%. And then all the traffic you get from that is really good. But if you're narrowing by a location, even though your customers are likely nearby, you are not getting as much traffic, and therefore you are not getting as much domain authority. So domain authority is like your invisible score that Google has. And to be clear on what this is defined by third-party tools. They are taking what they notice works for websites and what Google is saying ranks, and they're using that and making their own score out of it. And different sites have different scores. So you take it with a grain of salt, but it's something to measure where you're at. So the blogs are creating more traffic and more domain authority. So the way to think of domain authority is if everything else is tied on your website versus your competitor's website, but your competitor has a higher domain authority, they're going to win the tiebreaker. So SEO is all about winning tiebreakers in all these different buckets. Any sort of video game where you have a 30% multiplier and then another 50% multiplier, and then you have additive damage in another bucket. All these buckets multiply. So yeah, if you're fighting someone and it's completely tied, but you have that one last multiplier of 50%, you're going to kill that person 50% faster. So it's like the same thing in SEO. And I'm defining all the buckets, and I'll recap all the main buckets at the end again too. So the last main bucket besides blog creation is backlinks. Every blog we have, we add a backlink, and we also recreate the blog on other sites too that have high domain authority, like the SEO score. So the higher the SEO score of another site that links to your site, the more worthwhile that backlink is. And also, the more relevant the site is and the higher intent of the traffic coming from it, the more benefit for your ranking. And you just inherently from that traffic get more traffic. You get two benefits from backlinks and from the blog traffic. you get the initial traffic and you get the boost in ranking on Google, and the boost in ranking also gives you more traffic. So it's like a double traffic generator doing all these things. So right now, 90 plus domain ratings are really mainstream news websites or just very well-known industry directories. A lot of them are directories and they're just backlinking to other sites. Like Yelp is kind of like a directory, all these sites. You can get a bunch of easy 90 plus, 70 plus high domain authorities through this service we sell called Yext. It's like $30 for us. And it gets them on 70 of these sites. You just fill out one form and then that information gets you listed on all the sites through Yext. So it's really nice to give you a head start. And then from there, you have to do, there's a few different methods. So you can manually apply and make a profile on some sites and generate a backlink that way. You can message people. You can say, hey, let's try and make an article with a backlink to us. You can say, hey, can we add our backlink to an existing article? Like if someone writes top 10 kitchen remodelers in Austin, and you say, hey, can you reconsider adding us to this list? Here's why I think you should do it. You're kind of pitching them to get the backlink. It's a lot of like reaching out to journalists, reaching out to sites and negotiating through different ways. Sometimes people pay too to get on or to have the article with the backlink written. So that's kind of how you acquire it. And the higher the domain rating, the more effort involved in getting that, but the more benefit involved too. Some of these sites are really difficult. We have clients where we don't even have to go to these links and do this kind of thing. We can just do the blogs, the on-site, and then they're like top 3, top 1 ranked. But for very hyper, like our biggest clients, we've estimated the amount that they spent on backlinks alone. I think it's in the millions. The top guy, the top guy in one of our industries probably spent 2 to 4 million, and he's still going. So we just had to hire 4 new people for backlinks alone and using software and just setting up operations for it because some clients needed it, but it's been benefiting them a lot. So
another question. So this wouldn't be for everybody then, right?
SEO?
Well, the backlinks portion of it,
I don't think it hurts.
Okay.
The situation where SEO would not be good, there's always a way to think that it's good. And here's a common one. You can do SEO when seasonal businesses that are like busy in the summer or slow in the winter or vice versa. You could argue starting it either way. You could argue like, okay, it's busy in the summer. We have a lot of money, extra money. We can invest in long-term strategies now and we won't be hurting. But the thing is, by the time you get the benefit of backlinks or SEO in general, it's going to be your slow season. So it's going to feel like it wasn't really worth it. On the other hand, you can, if ads are not working because things are really slow, you can work on SEO in the off season. And then by the time you do it for like half a year, by the time it's your busy season, you're going to benefit from it way more when the search volume is way higher. But on the flip side of that is you're hurting pretty bad because it's the slow season and you're paying for this thing that won't help you till it's busy. So what I try and tell people to do is I'm thinking of different examples and different clients where the timing's been better or worse. So let me just think here. We don't see a lot of clients, again, starting with this with ads because when they hire an agency, they kind of just look for ads. I mean, they look for SEO, but when someone comes to you and they say, I don't know what I want, I just want immediate results, then that equals ads. That's typically what you see in a lot of situations. So I think the best time though to start SEO is as soon as possible if money is not an issue, because the longer you hold off, the longer you're delaying the results you're going to get from it.
Okay.
Yeah. And in terms of seasonality, I would say if money's not a problem, just start when things are slow, work on it and just enjoy your investment by the time things are good. What prioritizes that is just start it as soon as possible. If you care about growing, a lot of clients just want the bare minimum or just want some ads running. They don't want to grow. They don't understand. This is the most confusing service to explain to people, especially in construction industries. I've seen them really struggle to appreciate or understand SEO. They typically cancel very quickly. They just see that we're writing blogs and that gives them a lot of homework. So what we're doing normally our bottleneck with this is clients approving. So we're making a policy now. If we don't get any revisions within 3 days, they get automatically published. So, I mean, it's just, we're going to have to do it because it's holding up. Like I told you last time, we had a client who had, we did 100 publishings last month of articles because he was like delayed or always behind for a year now. And his domain authority score went up 2 points, which is huge in a single month. It's probably going to go up even more this month since we did all that.
Okay.
It's a tough sell, and people see blogs and they think it's like fluffy branding marketing. And I used to think that too, but like I've explained it to people, but sometimes people get so busy and they'll just still be opposed to it. Like people can understand an ad. It's like, okay, you're putting out the thing I do and people want that. That makes sense to me. Let's invest in that. But when you're talking about, an article writing, they don't understand how people are, everything I've taught you, and they're not specialized in it. So we had one client that was on it. They did everything in the wrong order. They didn't do the on-site first. They probably wasted like 6 or 7 months of just doing things in the wrong order and being unorganized. So they did the blogs first before the site was optimized. So all these pages were slower than they could have been. Then we finally optimized the site. And I said, this is going to be permanent benefit, but they wanted to keep their hosting under their control. And we found out the hosting was never in their control. So we just said, like, get new hosting and we'll just put the updates to the site there. And they paid $4,000 for the site. And they just said, we're sick of this. We don't want to work with you anymore.
What?
I'm like, wow. Okay. I mean, we're a little like didn't enjoy working with you either because of all the crazy miscommunication and everything and a lot of things. But at least take your site that you paid for, like, and all the improvements. And it's just free money that they're always burning. So that's just a bad client in general, though. You just, even for ads, you just kind of we want to avoid that situation. It's so frustrating too, because they're so easy to get results for, and they're so easy to rank for these things because all their competition is equally being uneducated or not seeing the value or investing in these things. So if anyone does invest, they're going to rank super high. Landscapers are the most notorious for this. I mean, the first landscaper that actually would thought of things from a business standpoint and invested in these things, they're going to make a killing. They're going to have permanent lead generation. But I must have had 30 calls with them. I had one from Austin that was a high-end one. I thought they were finally taking it seriously, and they just still didn't go through with it. So point is, it's a tough sell, and certain industries understand it more than others. Comparing competitors who are doing it and showing that they're ranking on first is typically the best way to, get someone to understand that. They're like, oh, I know my competitor and they're doing it. They're ahead of me. So this must be the right thing to do. It's not like we're reinventing the wheel and doing some experimental thing here.
Yeah.
Any questions on it so far?
Nope.
One other major thing I forgot to say is the click-through rate of your website on Google for a keyword is also a very big factor. So if you're listing, like your title, your description for the keyword, if that's not good and you've done everything right, but someone's clicking on someone below you, eventually they're going to rank higher because that's a signal to Google like, oh, okay, this site is more relevant to the user search than something else. So if your company's brand name is very widely recognized, and people say, hey, I know them, I've heard them on TV or whatever, that could also benefit click-through rate. So just working on your brand too can indirectly help SEO a lot. It really is like a very wide, broad, all-encompassing kind of marketing thing. We're getting PR agencies involved now for one client because that generates backlinks. Also, the age of your website too can benefit you. Like if you were there and you ranked first, domain age, things like that. So those are the main factors. I think just wondering if I had any other points to make about this. It benefits the ads. The ads also benefit SEO. So the data we get from the keywords that are producing customers, you wouldn't have that with SEO if you weren't doing the ads. So that's really valuable when you're starting an SEO campaign. You're saying, oh, okay, actually this service is really trending, or maybe we should, also for that keyword on ads that's working well, let's focus on SEO. If you don't have the ad data, you're just kind of going off of traffic volume and you don't really know if that's converting or not. Another service we're doing that increases the customers you get from all sources is conversion rate optimization. So, for example, we split test on a lawyer's landing page, get my free consultation on the button that they click. And then we also tried get my free case evaluation. And the case evaluation, it was more specific and it was saying get my on top of it. I think it did 20% better, more leads. So now 20% more traffic that comes from the SEO is going to become a customer more often now. And also it can kind of huge factor I forgot to mention with SEO is time spent on page, because time spent on page, just kind of like watch time with YouTube. If you've ever seen the YouTubers talk about like the 10-minute mark, they get an extra ad or whatever. That Google views that as an easy metric to determine if someone is engaged with it. Because if someone bounces immediately, like if they search kitchen remodeling near me and they go to the page and it's bathrooms and they click back, that means that the content that they're looking at is not relevant to what they're searching. So that's another huge indicator of rank is time spent on page. So that's why you see some articles are just super long and they don't give you the answer right away. It's so obnoxious, man.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
You know, like you ever see like you want to just know like the release time of a game or what channel are the Patriots on or something.
Yeah.
And then you find this article and it's like, what time are the Patriots on? The Patriots are a team based in New England, blah, blah, blah. It's like, holy crap. I just want to get my answer. Can you just put it at the top? Because if they put it at the top, then according to Google's algorithm, they're not interested in that. They didn't get their answer. And so they bounced, even though that was probably the best result because it got you that immediately. The reason another reason why they want time spent on page is all those media sites. Google has their ad display network and they keep scrolling and scrolling. And the more they scroll and the more time they spend, the more ads cycle there. So the more money Google's making. So that's how they make money, not only from their ads on search, but their display ads that come off of search that are on different websites. Not everyone has them, but a lot of media has them. So yeah, the more time they're on the page that you keep people scrolling for that one answer, it's really shitty. The more money they make from those display ads.
Yeah, I've actually started avoiding certain websites for answers.
Yeah, no, people are starting to hate search. There's, it's becoming outdated, especially with ChatGPT. So if you've noticed now with Google, like Gemini will give you an answer now. I don't know. No one knows how they're going to monetize that. I have some ideas, like they might have sponsored, like the AI may suggest an advertiser, I think is how it will shift. But yeah, people want an answer quick. They don't want to have to like click on a website, dig in, scroll down. So things are really changing now with ChatGPT and what they're doing. There's a term for it, AI search optimization. I forget what GEO, generative engine optimization. I think Geo told me that. All right, so we got 4 minutes before that next call. And if you have questions about this, let's bring it up on tomorrow's call. I moved the time, so hopefully that works for you.
Yeah, it does. It helps. Appreciate it.
No problem. All right. Talk to you in a bit. Bye.
Yep.